One thing I realized is these guys are hobbit size. Both these guys are like 5'8" or 5'9" or something. They are tiny, tiny little dudes. I don't want to see the hobbits run around and try to be cool dudes. They're not cool dudes. The original actors who played Lando and Han were... How hard is it to find... we need two tall, skinny guys who can remember their lines, who aren't hideously ugly. It can't be that hard to find, but no, you came up with these two guys, because I guess one of them's a rapper, and the other guy's a complete... I think he's not that well known. Both of them have no personality. You think, oh, the black guy's got some personality. He's got kind of a smarmy personality. That wasn't the original characters. The original characters had confidence. And it's hard to be confident if you're like 5'8". You're just a hobbit. Sorry if you're hobbit sized, but that's... You got to play hobbit roles, you can't play these leading roles. And I mean, are you going to stand on a box the whole time? Okay, so after that wonderful intro insulting short people, pansexual robot lover Lando is back, and he's now with even more F Whitey. Disney has this IP that is sort of turning into a white elephant, I think, because they paid quite a bit for it, and it's underperforming. It's this whole film universe that they plan the next few decades around, so they can't just abandon it so easily. So every crappy movie is going to get a sequel and maybe a spin-off, and I guess they can't sell it without looking, kind of hurting the investor confidence, or even fire the people who screwed it up, because they're women. And apparently now in 2020, you can't fire women for destroying your company. You just have to hang tight and ride that ship. They're going to have a hard time making movies less woke because, one, they don't want to, and two, social media pressure. If Solo wasn't a Star Wars film, it would have been a hit, I think. If you swap out the Wookiee and the Millennium Falcon for just generic characters, the film probably would have done just fine. It bombed because the audience expected it to be a Star Wars film, not a film where Lando bangs a robot, or even the whole subplot about robots protesting for some sort of rights. Why would a toaster oven protest? They do what they're programmed to do. People don't understand that Disney is not the company it was even 20 years ago. The people in charge now want to make propaganda, even if it costs them a profit. Their motivation isn't fiscal, it's ideological. They're bad people who are trying to brainwash the audience. And just because it's not working is no reason for them to stop. The old Disney of fun, silly entertainment, that is long gone. The shot callers there are filthy, degenerate, commie globalist parasites. They will run the company into the ground if they have to. The only reason I make such outlandish claims is because you can watch it play out in front of you. The Disney Star Wars trilogy cost them billions in future earnings. They don't care. Your motivation is money because you're normal. These people are already filthy rich. They don't care about their employees that aren't. The shot callers have so much money, it's just not an issue for them. Disney is just a vehicle for them to spread their filthy agenda. When it dies, their kids will hop on another until they destroy it. SJWs are parasites. Anything the SJWs get involved in, they will infect with their disease, from chat rooms to companies. Not only do they not want certain movies, comic books, or games, but they don't want you to have them either because they know best. They recently celebrated getting books banned in schools. Classics that are no longer classic. Because we're headed for buy ammo and form militias, because we're headed for spicy future days. It's like America is an engine that someone decided to turbocharge and then add nitrous on and then run it at 8,000 RPM nonstop. Like, well, okay. You gonna change gears? No, we're just gonna run this thing. We're gonna run this thing until it blows up. So get ready for that engine to blow. Kathleen Kennedy got the Dear White People guy to work on this, and I don't know if that was a hit or not, since I myself am a woman of color. I didn't watch it. Is it a series? Will Dear Black People or Chinese People be coming out next? Somehow I doubt it. And I don't want that kind of thing either, because it's fomenting discord. These people foment discord. It is it just causes trouble. You're stirring up a hornet's nest. People have a way of, people want peace. We can live together peacefully, but we can't live with Hollywood. Take that not as a threat of violence. These people hate you. That has to be apparent to most people by now, even normies who just want a barbecue. Well, guess what? You can't. You can't until you take care of the problem. Not only do they hate you, but they're throwing stones from glass houses. Remember the Cuties movies? These are the people who are involved in that sort of thing, the Epstein's Island. These are the people who pit the Proud Boys and Antifa against each other. And why don't those guys just team up and go after the 1% together? The bankers, the media, the deep state plutocrats. They aren't fighting the 1% because the 1% funds them. The puppet masters pit two puppets in a room and manipulate them into fighting each other. Look up at who is pulling the strings and cut the cords and wrap it around the fat puppet master's neck after legal due process. Definitely not a threat of violence. I know that sounds a little crazy to talk about all these like globalists and all this kind of puppet masters and stuff. It only sounds crazy if you haven't been paying attention. So, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, they're developing a Lando series. Congratulations. Lando Calrissian is galaxy's smoothest, most notorious scoundrel. He doesn't have sex with men or robots. And he will return in a brand new event series for Disney+. Alright, well, at least you're not sinking that much money into it. Creator of the critically acclaimed, critical acclaims, accolades, that means it's bad. Critics like something on Rotten Tomatoes, they give it 90%, and the fans give it 12%. The critics are all these people. These are the critics. These are the same. The critics and the people who curate comments on social media, they're all basically Antifa. They all have that same mindset of control and authoritarianism of, oh, you can't have free speech. Well, why not? Because it's hate speech. Well, who decides what's hate speech? Oh, the people decide. Well, aren't we the people? Aren't we in the best position to decide? No. You can't say things like that. Isn't more free speech a good thing? Shouldn't we get a focus? The only way to reach a conclusion is to have both sides presented. No. Well, we've reached the conclusion for you. Yeah, but I don't trust you people because you're bad people. And the reason I say you're bad people is this huge history of you people doing bad things. Usually popular to your white people. How do I say this? The guy who's this Justin Simine struggle is watching his show. No, I'm not gonna. I'll skip that. I'm sure it's hugely popular, and fuck it. Massive Star Wars fan. Nice. I really doubt it. Oh, we're fans of Doctor Who, and Brie Larson is a fan of Captain Marvel, and we love Star Trek. No, you don't. Look, there's Brie Larson reading Captain Marvel comic. She's looking up like, this is dog feathers. Does anyone read this? No, it's been rebooted a dozen times. So why are we making this movie? Because here's $5 million, that's why. Oh, that's good enough for me. Okay, I'll take that $5 million and I'll make you a dog feather movie. And we're going to make a sequel because F you, that's why. He's put together a movie to give you the style, tone, and irresistible swagger of our upcoming robot effer Lando, who's going to be bisexual and have a relation with a vacuum cleaner. Oh, that was a bad analogy because the visual now of him. Anyway, the announcement might have taken many by surprise given the box office failure of Solo. Again, it wasn't horrible, I don't think. I mean, it was just, if it wasn't for Star Wars, I think it probably would have been a hit. If it had it's like, yeah, if you had two actors with personality, it's like, well, why didn't they just get actors? Why did they choose those two actors? The black guy's well known, but the other guy, you're a hobbit. You can't play the role of, when you're that size, and I hope there's nobody I hope you're not Hobbit size. But even if you are Hobbit size, it's like you're not going to put Mike Miller in these roles, you know, because he's a Hobbit, or even Ethan Van Sciver because he's fat. It's like you're not going to put ugly people, no offense, in certain roles. It's like, yeah, these guys I'm sure are good looking, but they don't have the bodies for certain roles. I think I've made a mess of this. Anyway, that's Lando. Just because he's wearing a cape, it doesn't mean he's Liberace. And I would have swapped out the tip of that. Hey, Mike. I would have swapped that tip out to something else because it looks like it looks like this is the porn parody. The actual movie itself is the porn parody. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, or if you're 5'8" and under, you're probably gonna unsubscribe, or Mike Miller, EVS. I'm just saying. Anyway, I will see you guys next episode, maybe.